Hello, everyone. This is the Insert Title Show, and I am your host, Wolf Strife. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about the movie The Agony and the Ecstasy. This came out in 1965 and was directed by Carol Reed, and it stars Charlton Heston as Michelangelo and Rex Harrison as Pope Julius II. I saw this movie about a year or two ago, and I really liked it. In fact, I've seen it about 5 or 6 times since then. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's just every now and then I come across a movie that I'm really fascinated by, and I can pretty much always watch it. And this is definitely one of those movies for whatever reason. I don't know. I liked it because of the subject matter, the time period, the acting. I think is really good. The music is good. The screenplay is really good. Yeah, just everything about it is really good, I think. Basically, what the movie is about is when Michelangelo was painting the Sistine Chapel. I think he started in like 1508 or whatever. Basically, the Pope at the time, Julius II, hired him to paint the Sistine Chapel's ceiling, and it would take Michelangelo about 4 years to finish it, and it was one of the biggest feats of art in human history. I mean, it's just incredible. And the movie is basically about all the crazy stuff that happens while he's painting it, and just, because basically Pope Julius II is fighting wars all over Italy, trying to expand the power of the church and also to defend Rome and stuff. So basically, on one side, you got Charlton Heston as Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel, and then on the other side, you have Rex Harrison riding around fighting wars and stuff. So it's the dichotomy is pretty interesting. And one thing I liked a lot about the movie is that it shows you a lot of the art and the style and how things were done back then, like the frescoes and just all that stuff. I found very fascinating. Well, hell, the movie actually starts off with like I don't know, like a mini documentary, or I guess like a introduction into who Michelangelo was. And that was actually, I think, a brilliant idea because it gives the movie much needed background and context. Basically, it just tells you where Michelangelo was born. It shows you all of his famous pieces of art, like the David and the Pieta, and it just goes through his life. And I think that was a brilliant idea to have that at the start of the movie, because once that's over, then the movie starts and we can get going. So yeah, I think that was a good idea on their part, just to give you context and a backstory, just in case you don't know anything about Michelangelo. So yeah, the acting is really good in this movie. I think Charlton Heston did a really good job as Michelangelo, and yeah, he really put a lot of work into this role, because usually when you see Charlton Heston in a movie, he's like the biggest, strongest guy, in the movie. So in this movie, instead, he tries to make himself look small and thin and kind of brittle and stuff. And in fact, he even stuck a piece of tubing up his nose to kind of fuck his broken nose up even more, because in real life, Michelangelo had a really bad broken nose. So yeah, Charlton Heston, I think, really did a good job in this movie. And I think he physically did the best that he could, because Charlton Heston was a big guy. So for him to try to look like this kind of small, thin Italian guy, I think he did a pretty good job. And Rex Harrison, I think, was great as Pope Julius II. He doesn't really look anything like Pope Julius II, but he, I think, brought a lot of class and also a lot of much needed humor to the role. And yeah, like everybody having to kiss his ring and stuff. Yeah, you could tell he was definitely having fun with this role. And Charlton Heston and Rex Harrison on screen together were really good together. Oddly enough, though, they really hated each other in real life. Yeah, in fact, when they did another movie together, like 12 years later or whatever, they actually didn't speak to each other at all. Like, they completely avoided each other. So that's kind of sad, but yeah, man, they were definitely professional on screen. And I really liked Diane Cilento, who played Contessina de Medici. I think she did a really good job. Basically, every scene that she's in, she's just great. Like, she steals the scene. And I think the writing was really good too, like the script and stuff. And oddly enough, the guy who plays her brother, Giovanni de Medici, Adolfo Chili, he was actually the main villain in the James Bond movie Thunderball. So that was kind of interesting seeing him play a cardinal. But yeah, I really liked Giant Chilinto. Oddly enough, she was married to Sean Connery during his James Bond years. So yeah, kind of interesting. And the rest of the cast were pretty good too. Like, I liked Harry Andrews as Donato Bamonte. I thought he was pretty good in that role. So yeah, the acting was really good in this. The direction I thought was well done, and the soundtrack was really good. The production values in this movie were pretty good too. Like, just all the matte paintings and stuff I thought were well done, and having to recreate the Sistine Chapel being painted had to be a pain in the ass, and I think they did a pretty good job on that. Unfortunately, this movie didn't make a whole lot of money. It cost about 7 million to make and only made 8 million at the box office. But yeah, I think it's definitely a really good movie, and I would love to read the book. It's based on The Agony and the Ecstasy, written by Irvin Stone. I actually own the book. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's a really long book, like 700 pages, but it's supposed to be really good. Not really sure how historically accurate the book and or the movie is, but I really like the movie. And I think if you are interested in period pieces or art or the Renaissance, or you like well acted movies with a good script, then yeah, I think you would definitely enjoy this. So yeah, check it out if you want to. I think it's a damn good movie.